Something primal goes off in people whenever you mention the end of the world. Between 2010 and 2016 was a doomer's wet dream. Any piece of media that even depicted the end of humanity was being made and being bought up just as quickly. Even real life decided to get involved and convince everyone that the world was going to end in 2012. So with so much hype and dollar signs around the end of humanity, anime began to get more and more involved. And with studio especially got a massive chub at the idea and went all in. Resulting in them putting out 3 different super cool looking end of the world type series between 2013 and 2015. One of them was Attack on Titan, the other was Cabaneri and the Iron Fortress, and the third I only rediscovered recently because of this.
Can you put it in a little bit more?
Yeah, sorry, wrong time.
For the longest time, I don't know if you guys got these messages. So many people were asking me to make a video on
It's got a really big female following.
Yeah, have you noticed? I don't think there's been a single YouTuber that's made a video on it.
Because they're all dudes.
Wait a minute. Oh, it's gone now. I kind of needed that. Anyway, Seraph at the end is set in a post-apocalyptic world where viruses decimated and all but wiped out most of the human race, resulting in vampires gaining control of most of the remaining world, farming humans for their blood with only a small subsection of the surviving humans being able to put up a fight against them. But you can still go to school and pick up some juice at your local store, and have multiple harms running all at the same time. Yeah, it gets pretty steamy sometimes. It was released after Attack on Titan at a time when people's thirst for these type of anime was growing and growing, and studios began to realize, hey, you know we can do edgy stuff now, right? No, dark edgy, kind of like this. But what you probably know this series for is its first episode, and mainly for that first episode. You see, Seraph takes you for a ride in one direction and decides, fuck it, we're going all in. It already came on strong, showing the entire world slowly collapsing, people dying, buildings falling, planes fucking not playing incorrectly. It opens with so much and skips 4 years to show you that vampires have enslaved humanity, farming them for their blood, and in a way foreshadowing the birth of OnlyFans and the simps of our very own world. We then regroup with 2 kids we were shown before the time skip, Mika and Yu, who were on the brink of plotting their escape from their vampire owners along with some other filler kids. You'll understand in a minute. Short story short, the episode ends with you watching each and every kid he's known get slaughtered right before him, as he's the only one left to escape. Oh, it's all good because then Yu gets to go to high school and focus on building his ideal harem. And that's it. That's the entire story. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. No, because Mika is still alive and is now a vampire, and all he wants to do is find you, and he's thirsty for one thing and one thing only. It's not what you think. Every time we see Mika, it takes us back to the harsh and unrelenting side of the world, something that this series actually does really, really good. We see him struggle to come to terms with being a monster, and yeah, other series have done that narrative before, but their solution has always been, Nanny, I guess I'll have to hide this and make sure nobody finds out about this. Unlike in Parasite and a lot of other series, Mika has to openly deal with the world knowing that he is now a monster. We have to watch him battle, realizing that he's not accepted by his own kind, as well as having to figure out how you would react to all of this news, knowing that he's not human anymore. It's the classic narrative of I have something inside me and I think it's changing me. But we're not going to change the narrative because that shit always fucking sells. He's the only one in the series that's been on both sides of the fence, so he knows just how evil both sides can be, and really goes out of his way to get you to run away with him and live in the mountains, maybe with a couple of horses. Oh shit, wrong script. It's that super icky, sticky human type shit where you don't know what to do and where to go that really stands out in this series. But check out this high school arc first, because Mika is about to get 0 screen time. Now let's play a game. What I'm going to do now is give you 5 seconds to connect the dots and imagine the entire narrative and plot of the story inside of your head. Now remember that this is also a shonen and has shonen stereotypes and tropes. Well, congratulations, because you probably got most of that right. Yu enters the army, goes on missions, and bumps into Mika. Mika then sees Yu's new abilities, but remember that this is also a shonen. So in the interest of having a story to tell, they then get separated again, so that they can find each other again later on in the story. It's okay if you're confused, it's really, really complex. Now, while that side of the narrative makes it feel like you're dealing with some 2-dimensional incestuous Twilight type shit, it's the rest of the story then that makes it all feel like a complete fever dream. The series already had us questioning how anyone is going to survive in this cruel world with so many threats to your life every single day. But no, none of that matters now, because by the 2nd episode we're in high school, and the next 4 episodes after that are spent making friends. Now this is done as a way to introduce you, Best Girl Default, and Skishima into the army, but it just feels like it destroys and interrupts the entire tone it was trying to set beforehand. But it doesn't stop there, because when the story does decide to pick up, you see that Seraph wanted it all. Seraph wasn't happy with what it had. It wasn't happy with just being like Attack on Titan. Whereas most series you'd be happy with just having one of vampires, the deadly virus, or the end of the world, not to mention all three at once. Seraph, the greedy little fuck, wanted more and more. The anime starts introducing these monsters that look like they came straight out of Ava, and digging up these demons that only your therapist should really know about. It brings in so much in such a short space of time that it never actually establishes its own identity then because of that same issue. Honestly, this anime has so much on its plate and wants to be so many different things at once that if you were to meet it in person, it would probably tell you it's gender fluid before telling you its real name. Can't say
Did I
that,
just hear
can
someone
I?
use a macroaggression?
But then it gets wilder. The show leaves you sat there thinking, where did all these monsters come from? What about the virus, the deadly virus? The anime doesn't answer a single one of those questions. What the anime actually does decide to do is leave so many of these questions left open-ended or just plain unanswered, that you actually have to scan through not just the anime's wiki, but also the wiki for the manga and the wiki for the light novels, as well as accidentally checking out the doujins and fanfictions just to see how insanely thirsty this fan base can be. It's mostly yaoi. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. It even breaks basic storytelling rules. Shonen battle series have always been structured in a way to rely on an event, a payoff, and then you repeat that shit on and on. Attack on Titan did it twice in its first season. It builds up and builds up to reveal who's done it and oh, it was the German girl in the pool room with the bread knife. Oh no. My Hero Academia lives and dies by splitting the season into two distinct parts, each with their own payoff. Oh, but excuse me, that's just generic script writing. And it's really basic. But to not follow it then is to break the rules of the genre that it exists in and cheat the consumer of everything that they've been waiting for. Here you have a 3 to 4 episode arc building up to this huge moment, where it looks like everyone is about to go all out. One character has already come back to life, so you know shit's about to go down. Fight! It blue balls you on multiple occasions. So much to lead up to this moment, then no. You is about to go all out in this fight, then no. His friend steps in and takes him away at the last second. And there's always going to be the argument of people saying, well, this shows the harshness of the world and how we are completely powerless to thought that we have not controlled. One thing that makes the least sense in the anime at least is how they approach the power of the Seraph. You see, the anime puts so much into making you believe that you is being used and controlled to unlock this ancient weapon, that everything is revolving around him, that he's the key. It constantly drops hints right in front of you, left and right, to make you think that,
I mean, hey, I guess it could be this guy. I mean, who else could it possibly be?
no, it's a completely different character and one that's only appeared by means of a flashback. The only thing that the anime actually gives you is this experiment scene right here, but what are you really supposed to do with this? Ah yes, those feet. With my powerful anime foot fetish, I can determine exactly who that is. It serves as a colossal fuck you to whoever's watching the anime that so much has been put into place to make you believe that this one thing was going to happen. Only now you have to check the fucking wiki to figure out what's going on again. Now there are some positives because this anime is actually pretty fun to watch even if it's supposed to be depressing. It's things like the relationships that each of the characters have with each other and how much they have to rely on each other to survive that really stands out in this series. If one character gets down or goes missing, you actually feel a fucking impact because you know you may not see them again. The main character you is exactly what I would use to describe a loud and edgy shonen main character from that era. But what's worse is that you take away his relationship with Mika, you can literally replace him with the other loud and edgy character in the series and have a near identical plot set up around him. With Gurren we have this insanely cool and interesting character, but we're only ever told about what he has gone through and what he will do. He's shown to be a leader, but only ever leads to a level that you and I sitting at home could write into his character. He seems to have all these extra layers to him, but the anime never really explores it all that deep. Now hey, look at this fucking fight scene. Everything is animated to make it look like one continuous shot. Now this was made back in 2015 before Mappa started exploiting people every single season. Is it the best fight you've ever seen? Probably not. It's not even the best fight from that fucking year. But there's a lot more like it throughout the entire series and just shows how well produced the entire thing was back for 2015. The character design can look super basic. For some reason I keep expecting you to pull out a dual disc, or for Pink Boy to block down the spike from some crackhead ginger. The music is also done by Hiroyuki Sawano. He did most of the music for Attack on Titan, but what did Kanye teach us? That's right, even a goat can have a bad day. The soundtrack isn't that bad, it just isn't going to get you to open up your Spotify account and add every single track to your... I would talk about whether or not this anime could get a third season, but I just found out that BarryAnime has an entire video discussing that exact topic, and he really goes into depth as to whether or not it could, so you should check that out after you finish this. Seraph can be fun and is a really well produced anime. It has a fan base that is every bit as hyped about it as when it came out, but if you want a complex narrative, then the anime ain't it. Read the manga for that instead, because that shit's still ongoing and apparently it really picks up. Hi, my name is Ben, my voice breaks a lot and my ideas are super unoriginal, so all the more reason to subscribe. And because I still have no access to community posts, I have a JoJo video and a couple of other manga videos in the works. Thanks for watching, love you, bye.